Hey, hello. Let's get right into it because today we're talking about something that I think hits home for, well, pretty much all of us. Why on earth do we over-explain everything?
Have you ever felt that? That absolute panic that washes over you the second you just say no. Like someone asks for a favor, you can't do it, and the word no leaves your mouth, and boom, instant dread.
And suddenly your brain just short circuits. It kicks into overdrive. That simple no feels like it's not enough, right? It feels almost rude. And that silence that hangs in the air after you say it, oh, it's just the worst. And then comes the need to justify yourself. You feel this incredible pressure to build a legal case for your no. You have to present all the evidence to prove that your decision is valid, it's justified, and it is definitely 100% not your fault. And before you even realize what's happening, you're 5 minutes deep into a monologue about your busy schedule, your cousin's dog's birthday party, that thing you have to do next week. Sound familiar?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, but what if I told you this isn't just some weird quirk? You are not going to believe where this really comes from. The reason is buried so much deeper than you'd think, and honestly, it's kind of mind-blowing.
All right, so to really get this, we've got to take a little trip. A journey back in time, actually. Back to when we were kids, to see where this whole thing started. So a lot of the time, this whole thing starts when, as a kid, your feelings just weren't seen. They weren't really acknowledged. And we're not talking about big, scary stuff here. It's usually in all the small, quiet moments that it happens. Basically, when you tried to express a feeling or a need, nobody really mirrored it back to you. Nobody said, I see you're sad, or I hear that you need this. So you were kind of left feeling like your inner world, your own feelings, weren't totally real, unless you could prove them. And think about it. What happens when you constantly have to prove your feelings are valid? Well, you get really, really good at it. You learn how to defend them. You become an expert at gathering evidence and building your case just to be heard. And you did this for a really important reason. You built this skill out of this deep, fundamental need just to be heard, to be understood. You just wanted someone to get it. It was a strategy to connect with people. Okay, so we've seen where this comes from. Now let's talk about the big reframe, because understanding this, it's going to completely change how you see this habit. Seriously, this next part is a total game changer. So the old way of thinking is probably something like, I'm just so insecure, I lack confidence, right? But here's the new truth, and this is so much better. It's not a flaw. It's a built-in survival skill. This whole thing actually creates something in your brain called a neural template, which sounds complicated, but just think of it like a little computer program that runs automatically. And its number one job? To keep you safe, to make sure you don't get dismissed or misunderstood ever again. I mean, just let that sink in. This quote says it all. It's a skill you built to make sure your needs were worth witnessing. It's not a weakness. It's a sign of how incredibly resourceful you were. You literally created this skill to make sure people saw you. Okay, so this brings us to the most important point of all, the crucial takeaway. If you only remember one single thing from our little chat today, please let it be this. Ready? Over-explaining is not a weakness. I'll say it again. It is not a character flaw. It is not a sign that you're insecure. It's actually the complete opposite. It's a sign of your past resilience. It's like an echo from a younger version of you who was so, so strong. A version of you that learned how to fight to be heard when no one was listening. It's basically a superpower that just doesn't need to be used as much anymore. Seriously, just shifting your perspective like that, seeing it as a strength that came from resilience, not a weakness that came from anxiety, this one tiny shift changes absolutely everything, right? It takes you from beating yourself up to actually being kind to yourself. So what now? Well, the next time you catch yourself launching into one of those explanations, maybe you can just pause, take a breath, and give a little nod to that younger you who was so incredibly clever and strong. So with all this in mind, my question to you is, how will you see yourself now?